Picture this: you are sitting in your car on a Tuesday morning, in traffic, running the math in your head. Again, you made $95,000 last year. Your partner brought in another $62,000. Together, you grossed $157,000. You are, by every statistical measure, a high-earning American household. You are, according to the IRS, in the top 20% of income earners in this country. And yet, you have $1,800 in your checking account. Your credit card carries a balance you keep telling yourself you'll pay off next month. Your car payment is $690 a month. Your lease is up for renewal and your landlord just told you rent is going up another $250. You haven't added a single dollar to your retirement account in 4 months because something always comes up. You are making more money than 80% of America, and you are quietly broke. This isn't a motivation speech. I'm not here to tell you to believe in yourself or align your energy with abundance. That is not what this channel is. I'm here to do something harder. I'm going to show you, with actual numbers, why your salary, no matter how big it gets, will never on its own make you wealthy. And I'm going to show you exactly what will. Because the problem isn't how much you earn, the problem is what your money does, or doesn't do, after it hits your account. My name is Ava, and I've spent years watching people with impressive salaries build absolutely nothing. I've sat across the table from software engineers pulling $180,000 a year who couldn't cover a $3,000 emergency. I've reviewed the balance sheets of marketing directors at Fortune 500 companies who were 3 missed paychecks away from crisis. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. Smart, hardworking, high-earning people who are completely financially paralyzed. Not because they didn't make enough money, but because no one ever taught them what money actually does when you let it sit in a checking account and wait for instructions. I come from 17 years in investment banking and accounting. I've worked at firms where the portfolios I managed were larger than some countries' GDPs. And one pattern I saw without exception across every income level, every industry, and every demographic is this: income is not wealth. What you build with it, that's wealth. If this video is the first time someone has said that to you plainly, good. Because that distinction is the entire game before we go further. If you want the unsexy math, the real frameworks, the I can't believe no one told me this sooner breakdowns, subscribe. Not because I need the numbers, because the information in this channel is worth more than most people's annual salary and saved costs and compound growth, and the least you can do is hit a button. The binary comparison. Sarah versus Marcus. The setup. Identical inputs. I want you to meet Sarah and Marcus. Same city, same year, both 27 years old when they started their careers. Both landed jobs paying $68,000. Solid, respectable, above the national median. Same student loan balance of $22,000 when they graduated. Same rent district in the same mid-sized American city. Same starting line. Today, at 37 years old, Sarah has a net worth of approximately $310,000. She has no consumer debt. She owns a modest investment portfolio. She has a 6-month emergency fund. She has options. She could leave her job tomorrow and be okay for over a year without touching her investments. Marcus, same age, same starting salary, same city, has a net worth of roughly $14,000. Most of that is equity in a car he's underwater on. He has $1,200 in savings. He carries $18,000 in credit card debt. He cannot miss a single paycheck without serious consequences. Same inputs, 1 decade, a $296,000 net worth gap, no inheritance, no lottery, no luck. 5 decisions. Decision 1, the $401K with a 4% match. She read the enrollment email, understood it was free money, and contributed 6% from day 1. Marcus skimmed the same email, thought, I'll start next year when I have more breathing room, and didn't enroll for 3 years. 3 years of missed contributions, plus employer match approximately $12,240 in foregone savings, compounded over 10 years at 7% average market return. That gap becomes roughly $24,100 before Marcus contributes a single dollar more. He started from behind. He never fully caught up. Decision 2, the car. At 28, both Sarah and Marcus needed a car. Sarah bought a 3-year-old Honda Civic with 34,000 miles. She put $4,000 down, financed $10,500 at 5.9%, and paid it off in 48 months. Marcus walked onto a dealership lot on a Saturday, let himself be upsold on a brand new $38,000 SUV because the monthly payment wasn't that much more. His payment was $724 a month for 72 months. He told himself he deserved it after working hard for a year. Over 72 months, $34,416 more spent on the same basic function, getting from point A to point B. That $478 monthly difference, invested at 7% over 10 years. $82,000 in lost wealth accumulation. A car payment isn't just a car payment. It's a monthly tax on your future self that compounds in reverse. Decision 3, lifestyle inflation. After raises, both Sarah and Marcus got raises, 3 of them each, over 10 years. Sarah's salary grew from $68,000 to $91,000. Marcus grew from $68,000 to $94,000. He actually earned slightly more. Every time Sarah got a raise, she automated the increase to her investment account before the higher paycheck ever hit her checking account. Her lifestyle stayed frozen at her previous income level. Her investments accelerated. Every time Marcus got a raise, he upgraded something: a nicer apartment, a streaming bundle, business class on a domestic flight because he finally could, a second car. Each decision felt earned. Each decision was lifestyle creep on steroids. Total raises Sarah captured for investments over 10 years, approximately $47,000. Total raises Marcus captured for investments over 10 years, approximately $6,000. That $41,000 difference, compounding at 7%, a $58,000 plus wealth gap from raises alone. Decision 4, the emergency fund. At 29, Marcus's transmission blew out, $4,200 to fix. He had $800 in savings. He put it on a credit card at 22.99% APR. Over the next 14 months, making minimum payments, he paid $1,100 in interest on a car repair, then his girlfriend's medical bill hit, then his apartment building flooded. Each emergency landed on the credit card. Each balance grew. Sarah had a 6-month emergency fund sitting in a high-yield savings account, earning 4.8%, above inflation. When her laptop died, she paid cash. When her roof needed repair, she paid cash. She never once paid interest on an emergency. Liquidity is oxygen. You don't notice it until it's gone. Then nothing else matters. Decision 5, index funds versus waiting to learn more. Sarah started investing at 27 in a target date index fund. Boring. No research required. No stock picks. No timing the market. She set up an automatic monthly contribution and forgot about it. Marcus spent 4 years researching before investing. He read Reddit threads. He watched YouTube videos about individual stocks. He told himself he'd start when the market calmed down. The market never calmed down to his satisfaction. 4 years of contributions he never made. 4 years of $400/month in contributions at 7% average return. $22,700 in compounded growth. Missed. At 37, Sarah is not wealthy by the standards of the ultra-rich, but she is financially free by the standards of the average American. She has options. Marcus has a salary. The difference between Sarah and Marcus is not income. It is not intelligence. It is 5 decisions that compounded, one in the right direction, one in the wrong direction, for a decade. The unsexy math. Opportunity cost. Every dollar you spend is not just a dollar. It is every dollar that dollar would have become. This is not a motivational poster. This is arithmetic. The car payment calculation check A average American car payment in $22 per month. A1 in 5 Americans who financed a vehicle last year pays over $1,000 per month. Let's run that $772 through the actual math. 1. $772/month invested in a broad market index fund for 15 years at 7% average annual return equals $244,000. 2. Stretch that to 20 years equals $491,000. 3. Stretch it to 30 years equals over $935,000. Over 30 years, that single monthly payment costs you nearly $1 million in future wealth. And yet we call it normal. 1 in 5 Americans calls a $1,000 a month car payment normal. That's $12,000 a year. That's $1.45 million in foregone wealth over 30 years at 7% returns. That's not a car. That's golden handcuffs you voluntarily put on yourself at a dealership on a Saturday afternoon. The compound interest truth, the 8-4-3 rule. If you invest $500 a month starting at age 25 into a broad market index fund averaging 8% annual returns, here's how your money grows. 1. Years 1, 8. You accumulate roughly $68,000. Slow. Feels like nothing is happening. 2. Years 9, 1, 2. Just 4 more years. Your balance doubles to $136,000. You put in less time but gained as much as the first 8 years combined. 3. Years 1, 3, 1, 5. Just 3 more years. Your balance nearly doubles again. You cross $230,000. The 8, 4, 3 rule. 8 years to build your foundation, 4 years to match it, 3 years to double it again. The growth is backloaded. The people who quit early never see the explosion. This is why the average millionaire in the Ramsey Solutions study reached $1 million after 28 years of consistent investing, not because they had extraordinary incomes. 31% of millionaires studied never earned a 6-figure salary in a single year of their careers. 1/3 of millionaires. They were not high earners. They were consistent, patient, and boring. And boring made them wealthy. The savings account trap, financial suicide in slow motion. If your emergency fund is sitting in a traditional savings account earning 0.5% interest, while inflation runs at 5%, you are losing purchasing power every single month. You are working hard to save money that is quietly becoming worth less. $50,000 in a 0.5% savings account over 5 years at 4% inflation, worth about $41,000 in real purchasing power. At $50,000 in a high-yield savings account at 4.8% over the same period, purchasing power maintained with a small real gain. A high-yield savings account is not optional. It is the minimum viable defense against inflation. In 2026, anything less is paying the inflation tax voluntarily. Financial suicide in slow motion. The algorithm, your 4-step wealth engine. Enough context. Here is the actual roadmap. 4 steps. Not sexy, not complicated. Irreversibly effective if executed consistently. Step 1. Liquidity is oxygen. Build your emergency fund first. Without it, every unexpected expense becomes a dead event. Every dead event sets you back 6 to 18 months. You are on a financial treadmill, running hard, going nowhere. Your target? 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses, held in a high-yield savings account earning at minimum 4% in 2026. Not your checking account, not a traditional savings account. With Ally, Marcus, by Goldman Sachs, SoFi, or equivalent. Minimum target, 3 months of expenses. Optimal target, 6 months. For the average American household, $15,000. $25,000. Try Timeline, build this aggressively before anything else. 1-8 months of focused effort before you spend it is a feature, not a bug. The psychological distance between I need money and it's in a different account, I have to initiate a transfer, has saved more people from financial disaster than any investment strategy ever will. Step 2, friction. Automate your savings before you touch your paycheck. This is the single most powerful behavioral intervention in personal finance, and it has nothing to do with system design. When your paycheck hits your account, the money you're going to save must leave before you can spend it. Automatic transfer. Day 1. Non-negotiable. Most people save what's left after spending. Wealthy people spend what's left after saving. That one inversion is the entire difference between Sarah and Marcus. Minimum savings rate in 22.6 to outpace inflation and build real wealth. 1.5, 200% of gross income. If you can't get there today, start with 5% and increase by 1% every 90 days. Every raise you receive, 50% goes to savings/investments immediately. The other 50% is yours to enjoy. This is the rule that prevents lifestyle creep from consuming every salary increase you will ever earn. Step 3, the wealth engine, index funds, and boring consistency. Once your emergency fund is funded and your automation is running, every dollar beyond your emergency reserve needs to be working. Not sitting, not waiting. Your investment vehicle, broad market index funds, S&P 500. Total market, not individual stocks, not sector bets, not crypto, not your brother-in-law's business opportunity. The unsexy truth, the majority of actively managed funds, run by professionals with teams of analysts and billions in resources, underperform simple index funds over any 10-year period. If professionals with unlimited resources can't reliably beat the market, you can't either, and you don't need to. $500/month in a broad market index fund at 7% average returns over 30 years. $566,000. Same amount, same return, starting 10 years earlier, $1.17 million. The difference, $604,000 in wealth created by simply starting a decade sooner. Your sequence, 1. Contribute to your 401k up to the full employer match. This is a 501,000% instant return. Leaving this unclaimed is leaving free money on the table. 2. Fund a Roth IRA to the annual maximum, $7,000 in 2000, $8,000 if 50 or older. Tax-free growth forever. 3. Return to your 401k and max it out $23,000 in 2026 standard limit. 4. Any remaining investable dollars go into a taxable brokerage account in low-cost index funds. Step 4. Income diversification. Stop relying on one financial engine. A salary is a single point of failure. One layoff, one medical event, one industry disruption, one bad manager. Your entire financial life is at risk. Research from Inc. magazine found that 65% of self-made millionaires had at least 3 income streams. In 2006, with AI reshaping industries, tech layoffs continuing, and economic conditions that feel less like a temporary phase and more like permanent volatility, relying on a single income source is one of the highest risk financial decisions you can make. 1 to 5 focused hours per week toward a secondary income stream can generate $500 to $2,000 a month within 12 to 18 months. Every dollar from a secondary stream gets redirected back into step 3. The compounding accelerates, and the psychological shift from "I need this job" to "I have options" is worth more than most financial instruments. Options based on your existing skill set. 1. Freelancing in your professional expertise, consulting, copywriting, design, finance, engineering. 2. Dividend income. As your investment portfolio grows, dividends create passive income without selling assets. 3. Content creation. YouTube, newsletters, or podcasts on topics where you have genuine expertise. 4. Real estate, direct ownership, or REITs for those without capital for physical property. The choice is yours. Here's what I want you to sit with. Sarah and Marcus made the same amount of money. They lived in the same city. They had the same education. Neither of them was born into wealth. But one of them spent a decade making 5 decisions that compounded in the right direction, and one of them spent a decade making 5 decisions that felt reasonable in the moment and compounded in the wrong direction. That's it. That's the whole story. You are making decisions right now that are compounding. Your car payment is compounding against you. Your emergency fund, or lack of one, is either protecting you or leaving you one unexpected bill away from another debt spiral. Your retirement contributions, or the ones you've been telling yourself you'll start next quarter, are either building something or not. The choice is entirely yours, and you are making it right now. Every month you delay is a month of compound growth that can never be recovered. Every raise you let disappear into lifestyle inflation is a year of retirement you'll have to keep working through. 60% of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency. That is not a poverty statistic. Those are households at every income level who spent before they saved, who consumed before they invested, who optimized for today at the cost of every tomorrow. You don't have to be one of them. The math is not complicated. The math is boring. The math is repeatable. Index funds, automation, emergency fund, consistent savings rate, time. That is the formula. That has always been the formula. The question is never whether the formula works. It works. It has worked for 75% of the millionaires in this country who built their net worth without inheritance, without exceptional income, without luck. The question is whether you will execute it. Today, not next quarter, not after the holidays, not when the market settles down. Today. Because your future self is counting on the version of you sitting here right now. And your future self will thank you. I'm Ava. I'll see you in the next one.